All right, I think we are live.
Hell yeah.
How is everyone doing tonight? Yep, looks like it. Welcome to the Black Lodge Games live stream. Starting 1 minute late, but I think it's okay.
Oh yeah.
We will survive. All right.
Who do we got?
James Bacon in here. Nani? Lone Wolf Fists is good shit. Yes, it is. And thank you for joining us for the game last night, Tora.
Yeah, man.
That was a lot of fun. Very good shit. Yeah. Grave of the Fireflies RPG. Total party kill. Grave of the Fireflies is the anime that is about a 11-year-old boy in Japan during the fire bombings in World War II, and he becomes homeless with his little sister, and she dies of malnutrition, and then he dies as a bum. It's pretty sad. Dyson Anarchy, can't wait. Woo!
Yeah,
Nani? Late streams. We're only like a minute late, and it was because we had some technical difficulties, which is an excuse, but that's fine.
What's happening,
What's
man?
up, Bowtied Gamer? Good to see ya. You should start a YouTube channel, man. You keep saying that there's this market gap. You got to get in there and do it yourself. You've got the power and the skills to do it.
Oh yeah.
Squat bench deadlift, mwahaha. My curse returns. Yes, puff on your cigarettes.
We did.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this table over because this thing keeps swinging. That might make it worse. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. Just be still. I don't know why it's doing this. Whatever. How's it going? Joel Clark is, of course, the designer, writer, and everything of Lone Wolf Fists, this excellent game we're going to be talking about. Bottle Cap here saying they should just put a giant hookah on stream, save themselves some time. Yeah. We did not bring enough food for everyone, but we did bring some cookies for us.
We brought enough for us.
Yeah. We're on time? Exactly. That's right. You're damn right we're on time. It's a Wushu RPG. How's it going, Maliki? Good to see you. Holy shit, this is so annoying. Why is this doing this?
I don't think it's the table. I think it's
bent or something. Oh,
well,
that is seriously annoying.
You did change the clamp.
I did, but that shouldn't be affecting the arm. Oh, wait. Here we go. Maybe if I do this? No, that's just the tension on that. This is like swinging. Very slow motion swinging of the arm. Okay, we'll see. You're already dead. It's a wonderful family movie. Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies. How's it going, Mr. Max? Good to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Technical difficulties equals lighter took 3 or 4 flicks to light. Yeah.
Also true.
I checked out your links to the game. Pairing multiple dice sounds interesting. It is. It's very different.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like I've said it before, and I said it yesterday when we played. The sort of super bombastic, over-the-top anime, that's not a genre I generally go for, but I see... Not only do I see the appeal, there is fun in it, and more to the point for this game, it does it very well. This was not burdensome.
No.
It made sense, and it's very different.
Yeah.
As it should be, because
it's not a typical fantasy genre.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I think it's fixed. Just stay still. All right. Don't know what you're talking about. I was about to say, time for the anime memes. Yeah, let's do it. Bring it on, guys.
Hell yeah.
Tora says, Joel Clark, your game is great, bro. You should be proud of it. And he should be. It's very, very good. And we are going to go through this in depth. We're actually going to be playing this again with the same group that we did the one shot. And we'll go over why that is. Because it was so different, basically, than like if we were going to run some sort of a D&D variant.
Yeah.
that'd be dead simple. Everybody has like a common understanding of how everything works, but this is not the same.
Right.
And
2 out of 2 deaths in a Ginger Frasier game
true.
on my part.
Yeah. That is true. Nope. Gravity is a bitch. Yes, it is. I'm good on food. I just had pizza. Nice.
Nice.
I had pizza yesterday.
Moon sugar.
We need to turn Ginger into a weeb. I was a weeb when I was like in like probably 7th through 12th grade. And I don't miss it because at that time, that's when they were bringing over like Escaflowne and Cowboy Bebop and like basically all the biggest hits Gundam from Japan. And that had enough popularity and got very popular on like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. And the floodgates opened and they stopped bringing the peak pieces of anime over and they brought everything else. And most of it's garbage.
Yeah.
And that is a hill I will die on. I actually won't die. You will die. Make him whack off to the map of Japan. How's it going, Dare to Wonder? Good to see you. Gwei, what is it? Tensol? Hi there, preachers. Old dude from Brazil here, playing pretend since Clyde Caldwell inspired us. Nice. Rather than WotC crap from nowadays. Now running a 20-ish Sabat VTM 2nd edition campaign here. Nice.
Hell yeah, man.
I do love the Sabat. They were my first faction that I played in Vampire.
And we will get back
to the Vampire content. Yeah.
Because there's a lot I want to say about the V5 Sabat source book in particular.
Yeah, for sure. And the Inquisition.
And the Inquisition.
And all of it, basically.
Yeah.
Except the Anarchs. Because the Anarchs suck.
The idea for the Anarchs has always sucked. You can't make it good.
You can't fix it. It's just really bad. The question is how many? How many hordes of Furies are you going to slay? That is correct. But you died so gloriously. You did die gloriously.
Yes, I did.
There are qualities of weeb.
And on my own terms.
Yeah. Not gravity. We in the chat are using the power of God in anime to swing that mic. New anime don't hit like it used to. Yeah, same with video games, dude. I just hate video games now. Yeah.
It's the case with everything.
Yeah. I really liked Baldur's Gate 3. That was fun.
Right.
And someday, I mean, Star Citizen is actually advancing very rapidly now because they switched most of the development team from Squadron 42 over to the Persistent Universe. But it's changing so fast that I'm like, is it even worth jumping in at the moment? So it's like perpetually, should I start playing again? And the answer is generally no. Gundam and Robotech. I did like Gundam. I liked Gundam Wing, and the best version of Gundam that I've seen, I think, was 8th MS Team. And the shittiest one was Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which was like some sort of robot boxing shit that was really stupid.
I never got into Gundam. It seemed like there were 4 or 5 different Gundam shows on TV at some point.
Way more than that. And
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
They all take place in different eras of the original series or in their own separate universes. So it's like impossible.
Yeah. All I remember is there was one mech that looked cool, and I remember it was red and had a whip.
Yeah, that's, I think, Epion. Epion, maybe?
Whatever you say,
it was in Gundam
I believe
Wing.
you.
It was, oh God, what was his name? I can't remember who drives it, but he had like a metal eagle mask that was like a throwback to the guy from the original one, Char or whatever his name is. But that's a show where they all basically look like androgynous girls. Like, hey gentlemen, what's your thoughts on Sword World?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. So is
that like a spin-off of Dungeon World? I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. You'll have to let us know.
A world of swords.
Whoops. True 80s and 90s anime was the best. Bubble economy made animation great. Yeah. It was pretty good back then.
I think I probably was a victim of the entrance barrier to anime. When it
Yeah, because you had to buy it all on DVD and shit.
Yeah, you had to track it down. A lot of it wasn't available. If you were going to get it on DVD, you had to order it, from a source outside of the U.S. when that was harder to do.
Also plug community games on local.
Yeah, so that is an excellent point. Thank you for the $5, John Smith. But yeah, if you join our locals community, and you can get a month free with promo code MIDWIT over at blacklodgegames.locals.com. You get access to our videos early, and one of them is up. It's our next video that's coming out on Saturday is up for our locals viewers already. It is very funny. But in addition to that, we're also running games like once a week. We've got other people. Leo Cloud is looking for players in a game right now. And more importantly, John Smith, only more importantly because he's super chatted right now.
Yes.
But John Smith is really great player, and I'm assuming a great GM as well, but a very big advocate of Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, which is not something that we would have thought that we would ever play, but we got very interested in it, and he is going to be running probably a 2 to 3 session game of 4E, so we can actually get the experience. He really knows the system.
Yeah,
and
I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, there's still some slots open in that game. So if you want
nice.
to,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, if you want to come and join, it should be one of the pinned posts right now in the locals. And there's a couple of slots. You can come and play with John and me and Young Steve and a couple of other people. And this is something that's been awesome about the locals as well. The quality of the players has been top notch. So great.
Right.
You're not going to be stuck in there with a bunch of knuckleheads. Everybody knows how to play these games and is interested, has their full attention on the game at the whole time, and it's been fucking awesome.
It's been great.
Tora was a new player this last time, was excellent. Yeah,
fantastic.
And we are going to revisit this game, Lone Wolf Fists, with that same group. So come in. Yeah, we're in and this is giving us an opportunity not only to test some of our ideas for settings and games that we are cooking up right now, like we did a one shot, which is eventually going to turn into a longer game that can involve many different parties and players, of the game I'm working on called Crypto Locker, that's based on BRP. Nick was able to run a one-shot using Mithras and mashing that up with the Dragonlance setting.
And we're going to revisit that.
We're going to revisit that as well.
At some point.
But it's giving us a chance to work on the things that we want to work on, but it's also giving us a chance to try out all the weird RPGs that we've bought and never been able to play. Because when you're playing in a home group, a lot of times it's just going to be, like you play one game. You meet every week or every other week, and you're committed to that one game. It's hard to get multiple games going in real life in person, where you can try out these wacky systems and different types of games.
And I have a lot of those. A game I really want to run, and I will in the next couple of months. Although the next game I'm going to run on locals is going to be Shadows of Estrin, which is going to be awesome. But I have
don't miss that.
A crazy autistic game called
hold on. Come on, Mr.
Star Wars
Button.
video on locals was worth the money to see it on my birthday. LOL. Thanks for saying what nobody else is brave enough to say. Keep
Happy to
preaching
do it.
the truth, brothers.
Yep, thank you very much.
It will never stop.
Wandering
we will only
Mage.
be angrier.
Yeah, we will, and meaner.
But I have a game called...
Thank you for the $10 too, by the way.
Yes, thank you, man. Oh God, what's it called? Babylon, on which fame and jubilation are bestowed. That's the name of the game. Which I don't remember where I got it. I don't even know if I kickstarted it, but again, made by like a Sumerian or Mesopotamian historian. Super deep on what would it be like to be a Babylonian.
Yeah.
I have to run that at some point.
Brother Grognard here, referencing our new video, saying, at core, I am a Hutt Jedi, and you know where you belong. Malachi saying, wasn't the V5 Sabbat book the one that got pulled and edited after it was released?
No,
it was actually the Camarilla, right?
Yes, it was the Camarilla. For stupider reasons than you think.
Yeah, and you covered that in the V5 Camarilla review as well.
Yes, I did.
Oh, got Howard Hughes here.
Sir Roderick Blackthorn ran a group of adventurers trying to avenge his murdered mentor. Sir Roderick is a bad dude. Cheers, gentlemen. We appreciate your time and efforts.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank
Howard,
you, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, that was $20.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
you're
man.
crazy.
Really
but
appreciate
he is
that.
Howard Hughes.
This is Howard Hughes. Yeah, that's true. But Howard, played in the Dragonlance game.
Yeah.
Which again we're going to be revisiting with the same players.
Great.
Which was awesome. And again, in a great example of a great player who took a character, had very little information about them, just kind of the basic gimmick, grabbed onto it immediately, and was in the game. It was awesome. It was so fun to be able to just like have people who are down to do the same thing as us. It's awesome. So thank you so much for the super chat and for being in the locals community.
Yeah, thank you, man. Very generous.
And providing us with great fuel for the game.
Oh yeah.
The V5 Camarilla book was almost as bad as the V5 Anarch book, which was itself almost as bad as the V5 Chicago by Night book. And Dare to Wonder is Leo Cloud, yeah.
Sir Roderick pisses DeSimus off. Good job.
Yeah, we had a little conflict. I was playing a Sir Roderick Blackthorn, the Knight of Solamnia, and we had Dare to Wonder here was playing Decimus, the Wizard of the Black Robes, and we didn't quite see eye to eye on things, which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And Buttquack was also in there as well, who's also an excellent role player. Took
Yes.
this character and really, really breathed life into him instantly, which was very funny and a lot of fun. And funny in a way that made sense within the world and didn't rely on 80s
Like out-of-game
references.
jokes,
And
yeah.
it was it was awesome. Anyhow, yeah, so that's the kind of the pitch for the locals. Go check us out. Lots of fun to be had, and also, again, like you don't have to wait for us to try and run games. If you want to post looking for players, here's my concept. Come and do that.
Yeah, that's a big part of what it's about.
And Dare to Wonder here was also an excellent player, and I assume is going to be an excellent GM for the game that he is pitching over there. So go check it out.
Oh yeah.
The V5 Player's Guide is crap.
Yeah.
And Brother Grognard, I look forward to running some Cypher system. Yeah,
Nice.
I would love that.
I love the Cypher system. I've said it before. I would love to play it again.
Yeah, and
I don't think I've never played in it. I've always run it.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
I've never gotten a chance to play it.
And Brother Grognard also saying that Horde Wars is great. He
Yeah.
played in a game over on DM Blackwall's Gilded server, which I think was going to be Blackwall was running the game, and said it was like fucking awesome, like super fun, really tight, moved very, very fast, and he signed up for 6 more games over there. So,
Nice.
so maybe we'll have to have you run that for
Blackwell
the Gilded.
must be doing something right over there as well.
Yeah.
I will run Diablo with Horde
Horde Wars.
at some
Yeah.
point.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Was it as funny as Muppetlantis? It was much funnier. Yeah.
Yes. Because it was better.
Buttquack was awesome as a Bayou hunter.
Yeah. Always
man.
kill more Lahoutians.
Yeah, exactly. Horde Wars is amazeballs and will be great for Diablo. Yeah. You flatter me well. You flatter us by your constant participation in both the YouTube channel and the locals.
Yeah, man.
We really like this is the thing that is the most fun about doing all this stuff. Like we love making the videos and everything like that. But honestly,
Right.
it's like interacting with you guys is so much fun,
Yeah.
and you're so funny. You guys are hilarious and generally have very, very good good taste in games and everything. So thanks for just hanging out with us.
This is always fun.
Yeah, this is kind of the point of the live stream too, is just to hang out with you guys as much as possible. Except when we have a guest on, in which case, we're talking to them about other stuff.
Yeah.
We had many guests on for quite a while, and we're kind of enjoying just having some us time again. But to segue, we are going to have Joel on the show probably in a month, maybe 2 months, to talk about Lone Wolf Fists. I think he may have a Kickstarter for the first supplement that's going to be dropping at some point. I don't know if there's an ETA on that, but I do know that there's another supplement coming up.
Do you know what
I
the
do.
supplement is about?
I do, but I don't know if I can talk about it.
Okay, got it.
I'll leave that to him to sell us on that. But Lone Wolf Fists, what is this game? If you're a fan of Exalted, that over-the-top anime, epic, ridiculous action wuxia game that allows you to do just absurdly powered things, this is what you should play instead. Instead of Exalted 3rd Edition, because the 3rd edition of Exalted is a cataclysmic mess and not in a good way. It's not fun to play. It's got some big design problems. It has some things that it does right, but it's also like they completely abandoned everything about the previous version that was so much better. The art style, the just kind of ethos and the feel of everything. It really sucks, and it was fucking heartbreaking when that happened, because that Kickstarter took like 5 years to deliver, and I was so disappointed with it. And so when I was complaining about that on Twitter many months ago, somebody tagged Joel in and sold me on this, basically. And I checked it out, and I was like, that looks cool, so I bought it. And it functions on a D10 dice pool, but is nothing like the Exalted dice pools or the White Wolf dice pools that you're used to. It's very different. And sorry, Matt Colville, but someone already beat you to the punch with roll for damage and no to hit rolls. And it's done really well here. The way that this game is, well, first of all, like the setting of the game is the world of ashes and ghosts. This is like post-apocalyptic. There's been so many apocalypses on Earth, whether they were through like nuclear wars or giant disasters, demons, like ancient demons awakening and laying waste to civilization. Like, it's been completely wiped. You're not going to find the United States of America or like New York City or anything like that. It is its own thing. That takes place in the future, where spiritual martial artists have awakened their chakras and are using this spiritual energy to do these incredible feats of like lost and new kung fu arts. It is very much based in the kinds of anime like Fist of the North Star and like Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, like a whole bunch of these things. It's fucking awesome.
I do love Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, and your characters are absolutely badass from the beginning. But it's very different than other games. Like, there's the way the dice pool works is that each character, and this is going to be based on your kind of character archetype, you have what's called an effort pool. And so this is you might, at the highest level, like the heroic or like the strong character archetype has like 6 dice for effort. Everybody at the beginning of combat, or if you want to do some, crazy stunts of power using your agility or your endurance or any of these things, you roll your effort, and then every die that has a matching face value. So if I have 3 2s, I group those together. I have 2 6s, I group those together, and I have like a 1 and a 4, and those stay grouped like on their own, basically. Each one of those is a set of dice. And each of those sets allows you to do an action. So you can use it if you have to like close distance that you couldn't with like a regular move action. You can use this to really increase your speed or do some huge feat of acrobatics to close distance on someone. And you can use it for your attack. And the way that this works is if I have 3 6s, that's the tens column is the number of dice that I have. So it'd be 30, and the face value is 6, so it's 36.
Right.
That's the amount of damage that I deal to someone just on a standard attack. Now, on the other side, they can use one of their sets to try and oppose that roll or to soak the damage, essentially. So if they use, a set of 2 2s or whatever, it's going to be my 36 damage minus their 22 defense. And whatever the difference is damage that gets directly applied to them. No to hit rolls. You just start beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, this is what I liked the most. I said this to you yesterday after the game. I liked that it's a dice pool system that is, what is it doing? It's simulating the most over-the-top kind of genre, apart from, you know, truly galactic level, like superhero type power level. But the pool size is not unwieldy. You're not rolling 30 dice. You're not increasing the powers. Do not, at least the powers that I saw, are not giving you more dice. And then I was thinking about this later. You know, that the effort score, your effort score, is basically your static, unified dice pool number.
Yes.
So unlike World of Darkness, okay, I'm making a wits composure roll. I'm making a brawl, an int plus politics roll. Or how many is it? I have 2 here, 3 here. Okay, it's always going to be.
It's always the same.
My effort is 6. Everything I roll, every round, I'm always rolling 6. That's how many dice I'm going to need. I'm not going to need more. I'm not going to need less. I can just roll it, match up the sets, and decide what I want to do with that.
Right. And yes, and that's a massive problem with Exalted from even like a baseline Essence 1 character that you just rolled up. You have the ability to, if you have, the first excellency in any ability, you can double your entire dice pool. So if you've maxed out, you've got a score of 10, you're rolling 20 d10, hunting for these successes. And then in like second edition, a lot of like if there were opposed rolls, which is not always how it worked, like you had static defense values a lot of times. But you could have people use their skills and their charms to roll to increase their static value. So it kind of defeats the purpose of it anyway. It's like you're adding this other factor onto an opposed roll. It's shitloads of rolling. It's crazy. So the way this works in combat is basically at the start of each round, everybody rolls their dice pools. You separate them into sets, and then we just take turns going through saying, this is what I'm doing. I'm soaking with this. I'm attacking with this. And your magic abilities you get, your like spiritual kung fu, you start with only a few powers, but they're pretty versatile. You get like a form power for your kung fu style that's like the very basics, doesn't cost any prana, which is your spiritual energy, to like beat people up with. You just kind of get these powers that you can access. You can use each one once per round, so you can't use one of them 3 times. You could use all 3 of them, but not one multiple times. But they are keyed. Oh, Buttquat super chatted. Let's see what Mr. Biden says here.
LMAO, you two preventing me from posting a super chat about a fictional race and role-playing game. It was so funny I wanted to hear it in Biden's voice, but never mind. The game was really fun. Looking forward to session 2.
Yeah, so Buttquack's character did not trust the local tribe of the Lahoutians. And it's not racist, he just doesn't like them. Just doesn't like them.
And it's right to not like them.
Yeah, they are bad in the game. Yeah, but I was saying, it's like everybody rolls your pools. You separate all these out. You have this basic form power that's like the baseline powers of your kung fu style, and then you get these techniques that are at different levels. You start off with like 3 novice techniques for most of the archetypes. It might be all of them, and like 1 expert level technique. So these go up to, you have novice, basic, eventually you have supreme, and I think there might even be some additional other power after that. They increase in power and cost significantly, but they all have certain requirements on how you use them. So you might need to have 1 functioning leg to do something, or 1 functioning arm and a sword, for this power to work. But beyond that, it's also keyed to, you have to have a set of dice. Like if this says, facing of 6, 7, 6 to 9, that means any set that is facing value of 6, 7, 8, or 9 can be used with this power. But if you don't roll anything within that range, you can't use that power.
That round.
So you don't have every power available to you at all times. And
Yeah.
so it really forces you to be strategic based on what you rolled and what you can do, which is really cool.
And the amount of abilities you had. I'm assuming all of those characters were sort of starting level
Oh yeah,
characters.
just total baseline.
That was the perfect amount for this mechanical
Yeah.
system. It was enough to really be tactical with it, and I had a lot of options, but it was not so long. The
Yeah.
list was not so long that I'm sort of forgetting,
Right.
or I have to remind myself what I have available. It would like hit that sweet spot of like, you know, pressing to the edge of what I can sort of hold in my mind round to round, especially just starting out, never
Right.
looked at the system before. Yeah, really well done. Really well done.
Yeah, and the cool thing is those powers. So if you're only rolling 6 dice, like I think this is how the scales work. And if Joel's in the chat, he can correct me. But anything that's ranked from like in your rank being the number of dice in your set, anything that's ranked 0 to 5 dice is going to be. Let's see here, Jumpsuit John.
I use my exceptional technique. 5th form, that's my purse. I don't know you.
This is what you're talking about. You guys are hilarious. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby Hill, for that.
Yes.
$5. Thank you so much. But say I have a set of 3 6s and I have a value of 36. I might have one of my Kung Fu techniques that boosts that rank by 3. So that puts me at like a 66. And so if you go anything that's rated from 0 to 5 ranks, which is, you know, like 0 to 50, basically, is going to be like baseline human capability. That's a 5 would be like the upper edge of human ability, like the absolutely Herculean things that someone could possibly accomplish. Once you go over that, you're going into superhuman capabilities. And once you get into like the 8 to 10 range in the ranks or higher, it stops being this kind of linear power scaling and starts going exponential. So it's the type of thing where you can, you know, throw aircraft carriers at people and, and things like that. You know, like walk through the individual drops of rain in a rainstorm, like dodging all of them, like that sort of level of athletics.
Yeah.
And you also have like ability masteries that can, if your power relies on agility and you have mastery in that, automatically, you know,
Ultimate
brings that up.
defensive technique pools closed.
What does it say?
Ultimate defense technique.
Pools closed. Yeah. Thank you, man. Buttquack for $5 for an AIDS joke.
Out of your mind.
Yeah. Buttquack's our top guy. And thank you also for defending our honor on Reddit.
Oh, it's so funny.
Maybe if we have time, we can go over that new Reddit thread about us.
That was so funny.
That was very funny. But yeah, so you have all these different things that can raise the power of your set, and a lot of it's based on choice. Sometimes it's like if you have an ability mastery in the power you're using, the power itself is going to give you additional ranks. And then if you have ability mastery, that gives you an additional rank. If you're using a weapon, that might give you an additional rank as well.
Yeah.
So you can, like, even as a low level character, you can do utterly superhuman things. Like one shot giant demons and robots and everything like that. It's really fucking cool. The world itself, but before we get to the world and everything like that, though, I know the people playing will not say this, and they will assure me that the game was fun and everything like that. This was a one shot, though, that I had been kind of prepping for about a week, and about 6 hours before the game, I began to realize I think I had bit off more than I could chew, because it was such an unfamiliar way of doing things. And there's a lot of things like area of effect attacks and all these hazards and lots of different things. Like I definitely got a couple of rulings like totally wrong during the game. Like your area of effect attack, I think I did that wrong. And then John used an improvised weapon. I think I got that one, that ruling wrong as well, which is fine. You know, we make mistakes all the time. That's not the issue. But I realized as I was creating the characters that I was like, this is going to be more like the people playing this game are going to have needed more time to actually understand what this is. This is not going to be a situation where we can roll in with some, some OSR characters and say, okay, here's the variations on the rules.
It is very different.
Yeah, it's very, very different. And, but to the credit of the people who were playing, it went very, very smoothly. We had like some initial questions and then we were kind of sort of figuring things out. And it was
good though.
It was good.
It was really good.
I really liked it, but I felt like I kind of failed because I don't know. I just feel like I failed. But
well, you can make it better in session 2.
Right,
but I don't
exactly.
I don't think you did. Although
No.
we failed, except for one
except for
brave
Tora.
soul
Yeah.
who decided
Who's
not
playing
to
Bohai.
not to fight the 3 mile high
Demon.
demon from hell.
The kind of premise for the game was I didn't have enough time, and that was of my own doing because I should have made these characters a few days before, but I didn't have time to give people names or anything like that. But I chose 4 of the clans. There's 7 clans that you can choose from. These are kind of the different flavors of character that you can play, and they have their own kind of social background, and everybody gets like some extra thing. Like each one of them has an individualized table for some extra benefit that you get at character creation. Like Nick was playing one of the radioactive scorpions, of whom this the hot pink-haired chick on this,
Who I was not going to play.
yeah, who you're not going to play. He played the 6.5 foot tall male guy,
Aethelric Invictus.
right, rolled up that he had like an experimental prana powered motorcycle. So Nick is driving his motorcycle across the battlefield, like kicking people in the face and doing all sorts of shit. And he eventually blew that up with his like expert level technique and almost basically set everyone on fire in the area, including the rest of the
That is true.
player characters.
2 out of 2, I killed myself in both games.
Yeah. And it basically just started out that they were in the middle of another cataclysm was happening. Basically, like an invading army had come into this city and was annihilating it. There's tanks and helicopters and things flying around. Missiles and machine guns being fired. Zombies are pouring in over everywhere. They're coming in with like giant robotic suits and monsters. And I chose one monster for this kind of opening encounter that's happening in this like bombed out intersection of a city street. And I chose, I think, a fairly powerful monster. It had 10 ferocity dice, which are essentially the monster's version of effort. 10 is a lot. And I had them fighting 2 of them. And they beat both of them, but those things fucked you guys up kind of bad. They were fairly powerful.
Well, it wasn't so much they fucked us up as I fucked us up.
You fucked us up too. Yeah, for
because
sure.
I needed to one of the robots or mech suits, whatever they were, destroyed my motorcycle. And
That's
I
true.
could not let that stand.
No.
So I used my most powerful ability to burn everything in the area, including all of us.
Yeah.
Which was worth it.
Which was worth it. Yeah. You did mostly kill that thing, and then I think
I
someone
mostly
else,
killed myself. And then I did kill myself.
Yeah, and then you did kill yourself. And then basically, as this combat encounter is wrapped up and we've, everybody's hurt really badly, this, whatever demon they've awoken beneath the city breaks through. And so I chose one of the actual, like, Titan level enemies that's in this book. And there's a lot of them, and they're really cool. I can't remember the actual name of it, but his title was the Sun Eater, or the Eater of Suns. Grognard, who's brother Grognard, who's in the chat, playing his character, role playing his character in one of the Golden Lions, using his magical sword, basically, that he got rolled up through these random tables, can only keep access to the power of his sword, if he does not back down from a challenge, or it was something along those lines. So he sees this demon and he's like, I cannot back down from this. So they all try to go kill it, and this thing, like just boom, like smashes him with its hands and its feet, and when it's doing so, it's causing earthquakes and all sorts of shit. It was fucking awesome, to be honest. It was really cool. But that ended the session fairly quickly.
Right.
But it was really cool. The scale of what you can do with this is very cool. Like the thing is, like the monsters, like I said, they have ferocity dice. The Titans have what are called cataclysm dice, which I also did not get properly on this, because I kind of threw that in. I was just rolling with it, you know. And then,
why not choose the most
why
powerful
not choose the
thing
most
in the
powerful thing in the book and not know how it
Obviously.
works? Yeah, but like,
I did hurt it though.
I think so. Yes, because you did something much more potent than your own attack. His dying breath was, he used this like aura sight basically to see like energy levels and everything in the ground. He found a gas line that was still intact in the city street, used his power to ignite it, and then he has a very powerful power to control whatever that the fire is. And so he used that as like a giant blowtorch to harm this thing. You didn't, I don't remember how much you did, but you did not harm it very much.
But I did hurt it.
But you did hurt it, yeah. Which is insane because you're a low level character, even though I probably got the rules wrong on some of these things. But it was afterwards we were all kind of talking about the game, and we're going to do this again, only this time instead we are going to not have pre-generated characters. We're going to sit down as a group, make characters from scratch, come up with some backgrounds, really understand, make the choices on the exact powers you want to choose, the exact clan you want, all of this, and try again. It seems also like this game from the GM perspective, it was fairly easy to run. However, the number of dice for players, like I said, is fairly low. You're not getting like these big expansive pools. But there is, I had 2 enemies that had a dice pool of 10d10. And so I didn't have enough dice on hand because you had split some of my d10s for your character to roll 2 10-die pools on it. And I can see if you had lots of big enemies to fight, that this could be a little difficult to manage on the GM side. However, there's a lot of humanoid enemies that are basically like meant to be used as mobs, not just like you don't fight a single zombie. You're going to trash that fucking thing.
Right.
But I think it's more, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, if you're in the chat still, it seems to me that encounters should probably be something like fighting hordes of like extras, nobodies, and then probably fighting a single or maybe 2 very powerful enemies at once, and probably not like 5 or 6.
Right, that seems to be like more in genre as well, I would think. And thinking about it, I would run a short game of this. What I would do.
What quack who else has their pool closed? Unbeatable counter technique, my mom. Always excited for the stream. You guys are tops.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Jumpsuit John, for the $5.
But I would do. I think I would. I don't know what the setting is. The setting. I haven't read the book. It seems loose for interpretation.
This is the setting.
I would
This
just
is
do
the
it,
setting.
which is very much how I played my character in the game yesterday, just like a heavy metal album mashup, like something out of Brutal Legend. I would, that would be,
I mean, that's
very cool.
That is very much the feel. It is like a heavy metal album cover, the whole thing. And so, so the reason I feel like I kind of failed, so to speak, was that like this was not the proper way to run this. Like to bring in players who have no idea what the system is and just say, here's your character sheet, let me explain the mechanics and let's get going, didn't do it justice. That was more of how I feel like I failed. So I would prefer to do this again, make characters, make concepts, have like a session 0 basically, and then do like a full session, because we just started in the middle of an apocalypse, because we wanted to get to the mechanics and everything like that. But do the role play, see how this plays out, because you also, it's like the way you gain experience is very different in this game. It's obviously not gold for XP or anything like that. This is, you gain, I think, karma and dharma, which are going to be tied to certain behavioral codes that you have. And so it's things like, you know, showing honor before an enemy or something like that. It's these little role play things that are going to get you the experience to advance your character. And if you want to learn like these supreme level techniques or learn new kung fu styles, you have to seek out a master and convince them to train you in this. So there's a lot of like the genre in the book when you read it is very well defined. And this is something I really like about the book is the writing is very entertaining. It's a fun book to read as well. The rules are all very clear. It's very entertaining. The power charts that tell you like the different levels of feats of strength and endurance and agility and spirit and all these things. Very funny. They also they have a lot of they really give you idea of the scale of the kind of things that you can do in this. And it's a fun read is the thing. So it's not only is the game fun, but just even reading the book is fun. So it's very, very good. The art is also all perfect in genre. It's all very high quality art. I would say this is, and I told Joel this when we spoke, because I talked to him for about an hour last week to be like, what is this? Tell me what's on the character sheet. And Joel's awesome, by the way. The only thing that I would say is a criticism of the book, and it's a minor one, is that there's a lot of white space in the layout. And I would like more art. I mean, that's about it. But the art that's there is good. There was no corner cutting on like adding shitty art, you know, to make up for the lack of art, which is good.
Better to have
good art.
No art than bad art.
Yeah. And it's but it's all, it all makes sense. And there's
It makes sense and it works.
Right.
From what I've seen.
And there's and we didn't do any of the mass combat stuff because I need to go over that again. But from what he said was that it was inspired a lot by some of the stuff in Exalted, and it was all. What is that telling me? There's going to be an ad coming up for viewers. Let's skip that. Skip the ad. All right, let me know if you guys get an ad break or if I saved you from it. That's cool. I've never seen that little thing pop up before.
Yeah, that hasn't popped up before.
Yeah. But it's what was I just saying?
I don't remember.
But it's very cool. So in the way that the thing that was also interesting in this is that there's a whole domain management section. And so you have like domain turns and all these different actions you can do. You can raise armies and I was saying that the mass combat system, I think, is inspired by Exalted 3rd Edition, which is one of the good parts of Exalted 3rd Edition. But we didn't get there, so I can't confirm that. But it's got rules for like vehicles and terrain, fighting with vehicles. Oh, that would have been a relevant section to read. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Like here's the tone of this: creating vehicles and modifying vehicles. Enterprising heroes and incurable gearheads of the post-apocalypse overflow with ideas on how to trick out their rides. These range from the pragmatic and strategic to the ludicrous, but there's very little a lone wolf fist holding a wrench cannot engineer. Creating or modifying a vehicle is a crafting project. Page 17. Creation and modification falls into one of three very clear and scientific categories. 1, believable. 2, unbelievable, and 3, insane.
Always shoot for insane.
Yeah, so the tone is very good. But then this was the more interesting thing, because there's this the section on basically the lore of the game is not like, there's some descriptions of some places. Each kind of region gets like a tiny little blurb about it, but instead of giving you a massive lore dump about this region, what he gives you is a huge set of random tables for important things about the region and important things for running the game. So this is like this 2-page spread. I don't know if you can see what's on it or anything, but this is all for one region. And so it's giving you a master encounter list, a D10 table for the different societies that live there, the dooms that are there, like the Titans and where they live and all these different things. It has an NPC generator with names, quirks, and motives. It has the different terrain listed by the terrain increments. So you have different tracts, which are like very, very large parts of a region with subfields, like smaller areas within it, and a table for spice, like strange things that are going to be in there.
Oh, nice.
Different struggles that the people that live in that region are having, the kind of strengths of the region that are there. And so you get something that is super fucking usable for running a game. Because this was something that he brought up that I hadn't really thought of as a real criticism of something like Exalted. Exalted has like massive amounts of lore, and each region is extremely detailed and gives you tons of information. At least this is the way it was in second edition. And he's like, okay, but what if my characters want to teleport to Lookshy? Like today, like, oh shit, that's way across the map. Let me look up Lookshy. And it's, I have to sit here and read all this fucking lore, where instead you go, okay, give me just a second. I roll up the relevant details that I need, and then I have something there immediately to run off of. I have NPCs, I have the area it's taking place in, what are the struggles these people are facing. Like, it's just like instant, like seriously useful stuff. So that was something I was like, that is fucking brilliant. Like, that is a really, really good idea. And I'm someone who likes the lore. Like, I like a huge meaty lore section because I find a lot of inspiration for that. But it's this sort of thing for like, if your players are like go off, the rails, so to speak, like they do something totally unanticipated and they go way out, and you have the ability to probably go very large distances very quickly in this game. Then you're prepared there, like more than prepared with tools that you can actually use. It's got tons of different kung fu styles. All the kung fu styles are limited in availability by your clan choice and things, at least at the start. There's just, it's really good. I really, really like this, and I want to run it again. And I feel like I didn't quite do it justice, but we did get a good taste of it.
Yeah,
which is
and it
cool.
was fun.
It was,
I have no
yeah, that
complaints.
was the other thing. It was fun. Like, it was actually fun. And everybody got the gimmick immediately. I love playing with all these guys. I can't recommend enough. Just join the locals, even if it's for free for a month, to find someone to game with. You know,
definitely.
obviously we want you to pay the $5 after that. But if nothing else, if you got a good game out of it, that would be fucking amazing. So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff in here. Like, there's one of the clan archetypes. Which one? I think it's the Shadow Vipers. That was what our friend John was playing, John Smith, who super chatted us very generously earlier today to recommend we plug these games anyway. He was playing one of the Shadow Vipers. This is like the ultimate edgelord.
Hell yeah.
Like, you use your hell chakra, to like do all this like evil shit with your powers. And so he was wearing sunglasses during the game, and like,
Obviously.
yeah, it was fucking awesome. So you have the opportunity to play the evil edgelord. You have the opportunity to play the Golden Lions, who are like the badass, like solar heroes almost, and everything in between. So it's I highly recommend this game.
Are there rules to make your own clans in the book?
I don't know that there's rules for that. Maybe
Does
there
it
is.
seem like, would it be easy to do so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you just have to, like, I think basically pick like the different styles that were available to them and come up with your own
Like spin on
spin on it.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be terribly hard to do.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be in charge of coming up with new styles of kung fu, like coming up with new rules. But it's very cool. And the character stats, the way you advance, is very easy. The other thing that is important, it is in the sense that it's like Exalted. Like, when you start using your spiritual powers, you start glowing like a holy or unholy bonfire. It's like people will see this for miles. So you start with one chakra open. Oh, this was the other thing. The fights escalate. Like because the power level, and if you're fighting other martial artists, your power level is increasing each round. And so people are bringing out bigger and bigger attacks. And the way that works is that you have these 7 chakras.
And it's increasing exponentially, right? Because your available energy or prana is doubling.
It's doubling every round. Yeah. So you have, basically you start with like 3 prana points available to you. These can fuel your initial techniques usually. But that's because you have, as a starting character, 1 chakra is already open. This is what is fueling your mystical powers. On the next round, everyone's powering up. So a 2nd chakra opens. And which chakra is open can sometimes determine if you can use a power or not. So the obvious choice is when you're making your character, when you pick your style, pick your default open chakra to be the one that's going to be most useful for your style. Dare to Wonder super chats.
Thanks again for making the locals such a cool place for Paul to play games.
Thank you, man.
Well, you're welcome, but it's also
thank you for helping make it that way.
Yeah, the reason it's a cool place to play games is because there's good players there.
Yeah.
So thank you. Really appreciate it. So yeah, your chakra open. Your 2nd chakra opens on round 2, and this causes what's called a prana flare. This is like your anima banner in Exalted exploding and lighting you up like this insane candle. Like drowning out the sun and all this other shit. It can be seen for miles. And then on the 3rd round, your 3rd chakra opens. And each time that you're doing this, it's unlocking additional prana power to you. So you can't on round 1 use your expert level techniques or your supreme level techniques. You really have to build up to that. And so the fight escalates. And if you're going to be fighting other martial artists on the other side, it's really going to escalate because they're escalating. The monsters don't function the same way. They're not going to be having these prana flares or anything like that. But the interesting thing is, and this was always a problem in Exalted, is if your creation's huge. So if you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere and you light up like, this solar flare candle, who cares? No one's there to see it. In this though, when you have a prana flare, you could be out in the middle of nowhere. Someone sees it because when the prana flare happens, the GM rolls for an encounter that's going to happen later. And it's really cool. It was a very smart idea because that was always something that was meant to matter in Exalted, and unless you were in Civilization, it really didn't. So I highly recommend this game. I really like it. But I would not necessarily run this at a convention unless you had people who already knew how to play, because it's going to be teaching people to play. They're going to want to know how it works so that they can make the right choice. And I don't mean the right choices, but they can make informed choices during combat because it is very strategic. And the way that the options shift based on your rolls, because you might come up with like awesome rolls. Oh, I can use all these powers this time. Or you might just get shit. You might have...
Yes.
You roll 6 dice and you get 6 individual sets, like,
Whoops.
Yeah. So it's very, very cool. I would definitely check this out.
And where can you get this?
This is on DriveThruRPG.
Okay.
I believe the link should be in the description for this book. You can get it in PDF, print on demand. I got the hardback, which is fine. It's it's DriveThruRPG hardback quality. It's black and white. I would probably suggest getting the paperback, the soft cover of it. Only reason being, it has nothing to do with this product on its own. It's just DriveThru's quality of the binding for hardbacks. I have found doesn't last the test of time. The soft covers tend to last a lot longer. Like I have the Requiem 2nd edition hardback that I've read it a couple of times, but this is not a game that I've had in use at the table over and over and over again. The binding's coming apart.
Yep.
Like, that's fucking annoying. So yeah, but definitely check it out. Also get the Game Master screen because it has a lot of information on it that's very useful and readily available to you. And yeah.
Sly Blue Demon is saying he doesn't see a paperback version.
Oh, interesting. Well, then get the hardback. And Joel, maybe make a softcover version of it, because again, it's not a problem with this game; it's a problem with drive-through. Unfortunately, and it says it's on Big Geek Emporium and Itch too as a PDF. Nice. Tora says the Game Master screen feels required. Yeah, it has a lot of information, like condensed tables for all the power charts and what they can do. This was the other thing, was that I was thinking, like, I know that you could probably specify on an individual action, I'm using this as an endurance action or this as an agility action or something like that, and then key off of that chart to see what you got, because it might not necessarily be an attack every time that you're doing.
Right.
You could be doing some crazy stunt. I know you can also spend a set, if it's at least 2 dice, you can spend a set to open another chakra early, which I forgot to tell you guys. You can do that. Sorry. It's like it's like a rank 2 spirit action, I think.
Okay.
But it's very cool. The weapons all function very simply. It's like you basically have a few different types, like improvised, like what's called a balanced weapon, a reach weapon, like a sword is balanced, a reach weapon, like a spear is a reach weapon. And the rules surrounding those are all fairly simple. But then there's like magical weapons, like these artifact weapons, much like the artifacts in Exalted, that do other cool shit along with them. And so it's a very cool game. And the monsters, there's a lot of low-level monsters, there's a lot of mid-level monsters, there's a lot of high-level monsters, and then there's a lot of monsters that should be basically impossible until you're
Challenge accepted.
much higher level. So it's very, very cool. You could do Dragon Ball in this. You could probably run like superheroes or something. But I think that would not be doing justice to the vision of the anime. So unlock your inner weeb chakra, basically.
Man.
So let's see. Oh wow, we got a whole lot of stuff. Oh yeah, we got to catch up with the chat. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. So if you guys have more questions about it, let us know.
Yeah, it was really good, really fun. And as we've said before, it has
cover, duly noted. Nice.
Yep.
What were we saying?
It very much has a clear, unapologetic vision of what it wants to do, and it does that.
Yes, which is awesome. It definitely has its own identity. And that was something that's also really cool, is that, like, I love Exalted, but this is also a really cool setting on its own. So I'm down with that. Yeah, he says, my character had a lot of cool non-attack stuff I could do, but that wasn't on my sheet directly. That's correct. Another thing, Joel, I would also suggest making a fillable version of the character sheet, the PDF, because the character sheet is available on there as well. And something I like about the layout of the character sheet is that your techniques for Kung Fu and everything like that, you have space to actually write down the relevant information on it. Like what face value it works on, what rank it gives you, what's the actual effect, like all these different things that's there, so you can actually have that in a digestible form rather than having to constantly look shit up. But having it be a fillable PDF would be very nice. I like different levels, but personally very tired to grind levels in RPG sessions. Yeah, I don't like grinding.
Yeah. I don't like doing it in video games. I don't like doing it around the table either.
Yeah. Those that played, how dynamic / engaging is the combat? Like, does the hand-to-hand combat feel violent and hard-hitting?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very dynamic because, again, you have a lot of choices to make, and it can change the battle very quickly.
You have choices, and big numbers are always happening.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for what this is, right?
Right. And it's and the thing is, if you exhaust someone's dice pool, like if you make multiple small attacks against someone and they use lots of sets to counter them, eventually they can run out of sets to defend with. And so you can go in and just absolutely annihilate them. But on the flip side, you don't want to waste all of your attacks, because if you use all your attacks, you don't have anything to defend with. And a single attack, you might have 60 hit points. It's conceivable that you could get like an 80 damage attack dealt against you. And if you don't have anything to soak that with, you're fucking toast. So there's lots of choice, lots of strategy. There's a lot of cost benefit analysis to what you're doing. And you can absolutely, like, if you roll a really high set and you use a technique and you have ability mastery and all this stuff, you can absolutely fucking flatten someone with one punch. Like, you could destroy a tank with one hit. So it's pretty cool. For the love of God, make a fillable sheet.
Fillable sheets are always a good idea.
Yeah. You need a table willing to roleplay the stuff you're doing. Yes, that is correct.
There's no what would you say? You're not auto attacking, right? You can fall back into auto attack mode in like D&D. I hit him again with my sword, my mace, what have you.
I do 36 damage. I do 22 damage.
Right.
Yeah.
I did the same thing I did last. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that in any game.
You shouldn't be doing that in any game, but you really shouldn't be doing it in this. Not only should you not be doing it, it like doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Dude, what's up? Not a whole lot. Just talking about Lone Wolf Fists.
Oh yeah.
Does it give you good support to build enemies and stat blocks with an idea how difficult it will be for the players? To build enemies and stat blocks, I think so, because generally you can sort of anticipate by how much health and armor something has, how tough it's going to be. But really it comes down to the number of dice that the enemy has at its disposal, in the same way that you have an effort pool. And so there's different tiers of monsters that are really clearly defined. I think there's like 3 or 4 different tiers of monsters, and the monsters all have, and enemies, they're not all just monsters. Like there's some of them are like robots and things like that, but they tell you how many dice it has. They're very small stat blocks, because generally the monsters aren't going to be using like kung fu techniques against you. They're going to have their own set of special attacks, and those special attacks are listed under each entry. Like I'll read you the stat block. So I used Ancient War Robot for this thing. It's described as hulking, death-puking artifact of war. It has a ferocity dice of 10, health of 10, which is essentially 100 hit points, an armor rating of 2. And armor is additive in this, unless it's functioning differently for monsters. It has a size rating, tells you it's a mechanical being, and then its capabilities. Can accelerate to impressive speeds on suitably flat, stable surfaces at rank 4, like having a giant rear wheel. Sensors allow them to use ferocity as a sense action to detect enemies, so they can find you if you're hiding. Cyclopean Eye Beam. This is an attack with that gives it +3 ranks. It's an energy attack. It's ranged, and it can be used once per round. It also has a Steel Tendril, which is an attack +1, which is a grab, 1 round per tendril. It has 2. So I used that stat block I just interpreted what it looked like to be like differently. So instead of having like tendrils, it was like this combination of like earth moving equipment. So it had these like giant mechanical claws, and stuff like that. But it still had that single cyclopean eye that was like shooting this crazy ass laser. So I had them fight 2 of those, and 2 10 ferocity dice monsters was tough. Probably too tough for the first encounter for a new system. Let's see what tiers we have. Creature size. Animal tier is 0 to 7 dice. Beast tier is 8 to 14 dice, and there's a description on each of these telling you how dangerous they are. Monster tier, 15 to 25 dice. Legendary tier, 26 to 35 dice, and Titan tier, which is anything over 36 dice, which would be deities and those monsters that ended the world operate at this tier. Thankfully rare. When monsters of this tier fight, the world quakes. And so that's what they fought at the end and died. But yeah, it's I don't think it would be hard to make stat blocks for this because again, you have these kind of tiers and what you can throw at people. And you could come up with your own abilities and things like that if you wanted.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Does this game require you to have a scar across your nose or to bleach your hair when you open your second chakra? No, but it does require you to bleach your asshole. Has anyone played high level, and how fluid is the combat at that table? Movie scene or 3-hour slog? We haven't played high level. We've only played low level. I don't imagine it's going to be that much different because, again, your dice pool is not exploding exponentially. At the highest levels, you're going to get, like, you'll start with 6 effort dice, and if you go up 10 levels or whatever, which is, I think, the max, you're going to have 12 effort dice. So you will have more sets, and you'll have more options, and you'll have more attacks.
You're probably going to burn them more quickly.
Yeah. How you describe it kind of sounds like the hero points, how the hero points in Ascendant work. Sort of. Like, it has that kind of scaling to it. It's not logarithmic like Ascendant is, but it is similar in that sense with the way that the power curve goes up. Oh yeah, and Brother Grognard deflected the particle beams with his sword, the Atomic Destiny,
a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Thanks, Black Lodge Games. This reminds me of Song of Swords, which I love for that dice pool attrition.
I haven't heard of that either.
Yeah. Let's see. Lone Wolf Fist is a solution to that problem. I say this having played 2E and 3 Exalted way too much. Which problem are we talking about? I don't know. But it does seem to solve problems that Exalted had, like the massive dice pools and all of that shit. You don't have to deal with that. 1-to-1 coolness, those manifest on your actual head when you get to degree 3. Yeah. And
nice.
It's degrees is the levels basically in this. Dun dun dun. With Mega Man X with it, I see. Outstanding. Interesting. I hadn't considered Mega Man. Oh my god.
It makes sense.
Yeah, evidently the quick start rules are free on Drive-Thru RPG to read the core mechanics. Neat. Yeah, I would check it out. Yeah, and so the thing is, it's like the system is not hard. It's not complicated. It is very simple.
No.
It's just different. It's very different. Oh yeah, this game has kaiju. And things probably bigger. Kaiju that you can fist fight, exactly. Works better at higher power levels.
And why would you not want to?
Right. Despite how powerful characters can get, this game still sounds like it can be quite deadly. Very, very much so.
Oh yeah. You can conceivably get one shot as well. I mean, depending on what you're up against.
Right.
Because again, in that example, if you roll 6 dice and you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6.
Yeah.
I have very little to defend with also.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. You could defend, and you can likely use some sort of defensive power at that point, which will give you some boosts.
If you have one.
If you have one.
Right. Like I had one yesterday. I had one defensive ability, but it only activated on 0 facing or 10 facing.
Right. Yeah, so we have the problem Tora was referring to is my problem. Too long didn't read, 3.5 Exalted editions, none of them good. Still colonized my brain. I feel that, man. Yeah. This is much simpler than Exalted. Strangely has a lot more choice involved. Like really. Because you have a lot of choices in the powers that you can use in Exalted, but a lot of times they don't know, especially in 3rd edition, it felt like a lot of them didn't fucking do anything. or you just have so many options at your disposal and they can be combined in different ways. Whereas this, it's like it kind of gives you limits on your options. Like whatever you roll opens up new options for you and closes off certain other options. And you have to balance that with the number of actions that you want to take in attacking and defending. So it forces you to make lots of choices, which is really cool, but they're not hard choices, you know?
I never got into Exalted, and everything you have told me about Exalted makes me hate it more. It sounds worse the more I hear people talking about it.
It's got a lot of problems, but there's like parts of it that are just so good. Like
I've yet to hear it.
I know I haven't. Well, I did explain the stunt mechanic to you yesterday, which you liked.
True. Yeah.
Where the more
That's
descriptive
cool.
and cooler you get, the
Yes.
more likely it is that you succeed at doing it, and you get bonuses.
That is cool.
Yeah. There's some really absurd things you can do in Exalted, which is really fun, and the setting is so fucking good.
Maybe you can run Exalted with Lone Wolf Fists.
I was thinking that potentially. Vid for $10 is super chat.
Cheers, good Zol Clark. Thank you for this labor of love. Sad, even as the novel Song of Swords is essentially a high lethality, obsessive, crit chart driven NEMA simulator, niche but cool.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Thank you for that.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Biden, for that. Is probably how he'd say PSA at this
that
point,
is
though.
true, yeah.
But
thank you for the $10.
Thank you for the
man.
$10.
Always like getting recommended.
Yeah. Dex 5 was always mandatory and Exalted. Yeah, exactly. Everyone in the party died except for me, and I had most of my limbs crippled, so I couldn't fight the kaiju. Yeah. He used his wind powers to fly away, which was the smart decision.
Yeah. The Titan never, again, the Death God did not kill me. I killed me. He'll never take that from me.
That's true. Yeah. Well, we missed a whole bunch of the chat, so I'm gonna scroll back up.
Yeah, let's see what we missed
and
here.
let's see what we got.
A lot.
Howard Hughes saying Buckquack is the front runner for my RPG Heisman.
Nice.
Flex your toes. Yeah. Oh, you guys
Gotta
want
pay for
some extra feet? We got some here too. Yeah. You see, I had to take my shoes off too because, like you said, it's just not going as intended. We got to up the ante. What's Mr. Max saying down here?
Ooh.
I have Song of Swords. I never went through it though. It came in years late, and it is strangely written.
Interesting. Strangely, how?
Run Exalted, but use blank rule set instead is how 3/4 of the Exalted fan base is run Exalted, and it's warranted. Yeah, I know it's so fucking broken, and I just wish that they had released the Exalted 2nd edition core book with the updates from the errata. Just re-release that, and I will play that. I don't need you to fix the rest of the books. I do need you to fix the rest of the books. Redo 2nd edition, goddammit. Make it work.
No.
Let's see here. I love dice pools systems where your pools determine how many things you do. Yeah, it was very cool.
Peak Exalted is using to mech you yourself to kill the meth-powered seas monsters, a stupid toy wished in existence.
What the fuck did Biden just say? Peak Exalted is using a mecha you built yourself to kill the meth-powered sea monsters the stupid Twilight wished into existence. That is true. Song of Sword is a bit wordy, and the information is not presented in a very efficient manner. Yeah. Many such
Poorly
cases.
written is what it sounds like.
Why release 2nd edition when you re-release 2nd edition when you can just make it worse? Yeah, that's a good question. Marketing idea. Get this into the hands of all those YouTube channels that podcast about which anime dude could beat another anime dude. Find the hip hop intro and you know you're in the right spot. Yeah. Too bad that so many people who are crap at their job are in positions to make major decisions like the Exalted 3rd edition. Yeah, it fucking sucked. Like there's too much shit in that game and they fucked up the art so bad. Like so fucking bad. It makes me so mad. Hello, Zonalar, saying
What's
hello
happening?
to us. Sorry, I missed that earlier. Let me see here. Would Iron Fist be a good RPG to get more Mexicans in the hobby? I'm not familiar with that. Don't be part of the problem, be the whole problem. Patrick Bateman.meme.
Yeah.
The current RPG industry is defined by incompetent people doing really, really well. Yeah, getting promoted.
They're not doing well, though.
They're not.
They're not.
And this is the thing. Like, even I was watching one of those Professor Dungeon Master drama videos, industry drama videos, where he's talking about how, Hasbro lost a shitload of money, but Dungeons and Dragons made a whole bunch of money. WotC made a bunch of money. It's like they made a shitload of money off of Baldur's Gate.
They made a lot of money off of Baldur's Gate, and it's one thing to say the IP is doing well, assuming that it is. It's very different to say one of the writers on the line, or contracted, the person who's getting paid pennies on the dollar to write that section on the book that everybody hates.
So Mr. Max meant to say Lone Wolf Fist. Is that good for getting more Mexicans into the hobby? Since they are fans generally of Dragon Ball Z, probably. This could probably be... This is the new game of inclusiveness.
No, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. That campaign, we let the wild have 90% of creation so we could build it back better. That's like the Feywild, basically, like pouring in. Creation is flat and surrounded on all sides by chaos.
I thought it was a werewolf reference.
No, it's to Exalted.
Got it.
It's like as the farther you go out from the center of creation, the more towards unreality you get, where it's just chaos, where you have these Fey beings that want to come in and undo reality, and they you'll be walking, and when you enter the wild, it'll be the grass is now made of fingers, or weird shit. It gets very psychedelic and crazy, and it'll start mutating you. Your armor could turn into lava the deeper you get in. It's
interesting.
It's really fucking cool. God, I love Exalted.
So what you're telling me is Manifest Destiny never stops.
Yeah. Well, it's part of this is that you can then stabilize it, and you can push the wild back
forever.
Yeah, forever, basically.
Nice.
Ask the basic expert; he might know. Did L's hands write this? We were totally the problem. Yeah. I always liked the idea of Exalted more than I actually liked Exalted. Yeah, that's exactly what
Seems
everyone.
To be the case.
Yeah. I'm late. Gonna have to watch the stream from the start when it's ended. Yeah. Go back and do that, please.
Yeah, please do.
A lot of gaming is controlled by people in Seattle, Washington. Lots of issues in that area, and their design philosophies is why a lot of stuff is crap today. Like a certain Matt. Which one is he talking about?
Probably Matt Colville.
Colville. Got it. Yeah. I thought he lived in California.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. But that is correct. Because that's where
Neither would surprise
Paizo
me.
and WotC are both based out of Seattle.
Yeah. Yep.
Interestingly, this game was made with a special thanks to and lots of the help from Mexican TTRPG designer David Ramirez. So yes, Basic Expert is a DBZ fan. I think so. I think every man is a DBZ fan in some form.
I don't know, man.
You get to beat people. It's like working out and beating the shit out of people for a living.
I mean, yeah, that is cool, but
I'm not going to sit down and watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that is true. It is unambiguously and unironically masculine.
And elitist.
How so elitist?
I mean, it's all about being the best and breaking through limits.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
There's a clear hierarchy in the characters' power levels.
Yes. All right, fair enough.
It's called failing upwards. That's the term I was thinking of. Yeah. I don't want peace. I want problems always. Yeah. Yes, actually. Seattle, Washington. Why, that's where VTM Bloodlines 2 is set. What a coincidence. Yeah.
I'm not convinced there will be a
Typical.
Bloodlines 2.
No, honestly, just making an in good faith joke. Yeah. Colville lives in Irvine. Okay.
Ugh.
I am actually the proud owner of the delightful Exalted board game. Lol, I enjoy looking at it much more than playing it. That's not a surprise. That was a late second edition product, I believe. It's not a problem when you can remake reality in your image. Exactly. War for the Throne. DBZ is more about waiting for Goku to show up. Yeah.
That is true.
Dragon Ball Z belongs on the second monitor while beating up shitters in Street Fighter. Colville is in California, but California is not far behind Seattle. That is true. Spoilers, I am the shitter. Yeah.
Nice.
These are, I think, oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yep, they're good.
They are very tasty. What the fuck? I was in top chat instead of live chat all along. What a stupid feature from YouTube. I know, I hate that shit.
They keep fucking it
Oh,
up.
fuck, we're in top chat. Son of a bitch. Oh my god. This is completely different than what we were looking at. What the fuck is even top chat? What the fuck, YouTube? That is so fucking stupid. And now we're looking at some things that we'd already seen. Okay. What you eating? Have you guys ever played the Street Fighter Storyteller game? I have
No.
not. But yeah, White
no.
Wolf had the license to the Street Fighter RPG.
Yeah.
Nope, they are not deep fried. They are just delicious. I thought they were tendies. Yeah. Legacy of the Unconquered Sun. No, you did not miss us going over the Reddit thread, but I can pull that up. All right. Top chat equals racism and sexism filter. Goddamn.
I didn't get a Zenki boost after my car crashed. Didn't lie to me.
All right, 1 second as I find this Reddit thread.
Thank you, man. What subreddit was it on?
Fans of Critical Role. All right. Okay, let me find. Let me go over to
Oh, man.
screen share. That should be the right scene.
So
there we
rough.
go. Screen capture. Let's see if I can get this right. I want the retina display. I want. Why is that?
I thought we had this set up already.
We did. Why is it so ridiculous? I guess I'll just do this.
Why not?
Man, that's weird. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. I know this is an excellent show. All right.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's see how that looks. All right. Yeah.
All right.
So someone posted our Candela Obscura video. This is going to be very difficult for me to see. I'm going to have to increase that. Why can't I? Come on. There we go. All right. Fans of Critical Role. Title is, guys, I think Black Lodge Games is right about Candela, ... Oh, yeah. Venting / rant, jump scare, simulated violence, and blood at 12:08. So they got a trigger warning on the video.
Oh, yeah, for Barbarian. Yeah.
Yeah. 6 days ago, yeah, I watched the review, and certainly it's more vocal and less impartial.
Having a review. This is like, I hate this idea. Like, give an impartial opinion. if I'm giving an opinion, it's by definition partial.
Yeah. You idiots. I don't care about his ideology. This hobby collects all kinds of people, but everybody is
That's the
entitled to
problem.
express their opinion. He was one of the few, though, to scrutinize how the world building of this game is problematic. Like, this game has a district with prostitution and drugs, but don't worry, it's acceptable, like in Amsterdam, despite the setting being set in a fictional 1900s. Yeah, I wish I could have a cake whole and eat it too. Like, this game has a district with prostitution and drugs, blah, blah, blah. And then this is, oh, yep, Night Out, London, West End, 1922. Prostitution's London, 19th century. 2 upvotes on that. And then we have, right, there's stories from everywhere about the seedy parts of a city where laws and rules can be broken. Strange take about the cake. I don't know why I'm reading this, but like David Lynch.
You're making our point. The point is, yeah, there are stories about those locations where laws are broken,
right,
and rules are not being followed.
And
the point is, it's the point that you were making is that this is somehow acceptable, despite being completely ahistoric, and
right.
Not even that it's ahistoric, but there's no way that this would make sense on its own terms or under any terms.
The thing is, it's like they're talking about, oh yeah, this is the seedy part of town. In the game, it's not seedy.
Yeah.
It's all socially acceptable.
If it's seedy,
Sex
it's
work
not
is
acceptable.
work. Yeah, it's like, it's literally like just going to the nail salon or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it just came in a prostitute's mouth.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Before going to
You wanted to hear about
IKEA.
that, right?
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just doing work.
I got a good deal. I got a coupon.
Yeah, she's just doing work.
Yeah. It's just the same as
What's wrong with that?
my banker.
Yeah.
Or the nice old lady who sells apples or
Right.
produce.
It's like you're getting rid of the thing that actually makes this interesting. It's not seedy, and they say
Right.
that it's like, well, yeah, you know,
Also,
sex
and here's
work is
the
work,
thing.
and it's just it's a blatant, like, it's just their political philosophy.
Right.
That's all it is.
They need it to be seedy because they get off on
Right.
being transgressive.
Right, but it's not transgressive. Just so you know,
Right.
they
It's
need
not.
their transgression to be accepted, but still edgy. It's like, fuck you.
I need the water to be wet and dry.
Yeah. Black Lodge games have great ideas and content, but they're
True.
likely incels, which explains a whole lot. 23 upvotes. That's a funny comment, so I'm okay with that. I do think Black Lodge brings up some decent points despite their zeal. This also was like a very calm, rationally well-reasoned video.
Right.
They have
Very
called it
unlike
an
our
unhinged
next video.
Yeah, I know. Which is true. Yeah. It's like they called it like they called this video like an unhinged rant and all this other shit before. It's like, it's just me talking.
Right.
We're way more unhinged right now than I was in that video. This YouTuber offers a more moderate critique of Candela. I also agree with. To be honest, I think calling a game not even a game is the laziest form of criticism, especially when the reasoning behind
Please hide Super Chick for screen sizing.
Got it. I'm on it, buddy.
Yeah. He's right. It would be lazy if it weren't for the fact that there's an entire other fucking part of the video, the other 98% of the video,
Right.
talking about why that is.
Why it's not a game.
Right. You absolute retard.
Yeah. But look at this. That has 25 upvotes. Butt Quack, our top guy in here.
Top guy doing work.
Doing the work. Let's see how many upvotes he has. I guarantee you that BLG is not a fan of D&D centric games. Minus 11. My favorite comment, though, on this is at the very bottom. I'm going to save it to the last, though, because it's so fucking funny. 8 days ago, the mocking thumbnail says everything I need to know about this YouTuber dude. Like, okay, trash Candela however you want, but photoshopping people like that for your thumbnail is really rude and screams of bad taste.
Again, it's like, that's not why you're mad. You're mad because
Right.
people don't like your shitty, ideologically motivated
Right.
toy.
Yeah, and it's also, it's like critique Candela however, trash it however you want, except that none of you are fine with any way of trashing this game.
Right.
42 upvotes. Again, let's see what Buckquack said. I think it's hilarious. Minus 23.
He's so funny.
Does he have the same complaints about Blades in the Dark, though? Because I think that a lot of the criticisms he uses can be used against what I vaguely remember about that system. But that's a well-loved system within the community.
Within this terrible insular community.
Right. And it's also, it's like...
That has no taste.
Well, hey, these criticisms can also apply to this other thing.
Wait
I
a
guess he
minute.
must just never have heard of other thing.
Right.
Or maybe it's that other thing also sucks.
Also, it sucks.
You fucking morons. But let's see what Buckquack said. BLG has complained about Blades in the Dark, and they certainly don't like it, but it is a more complete game.
Minus 14.
Minus 14.
Like, he's not saying anything. He's literally answering the question.
Yeah.
He's not offering any opinions of his downvoted.
Maybe let's not give a platform to the guy who has expressed sexist and racist viewpoints, actively uses AI for monetary gain, and is against basic safety tools. I don't know what we've used AI for monetary gain for, except maybe
we use AI for the background.
The backgrounds for our green screen and on our thumbnails.
Right. Just like any like this. It's not even worth going into, but like the use of green screen at all, like that is a kind of artificiality. Like whatever's going on behind me isn't actually going on behind me.
And they also, if it is about the AI backgrounds,
Which it's not, but
I know it's not, but if they were complaining about that and being like, you're stealing people's art, I could just go.
I could actually steal someone's art.
I could just go right click, save JPEG, you know, of like someone's currently posted art.
Yes.
And I could use that as the background and they would not complain, even though I actually was using someone else's. I actually was using someone else's art instead of something that was generated. So stupid. 73 upvotes on that, by the way. This list has a bit of that arson, murder, and jaywalking vibe to it.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. What can I say? Jaywalkers are the root of all America's systemic issues. Okay, I'm curious. What is a basic safety tool in this scenario? Like, my mind went to seatbelts for some reason, but that's just a guess.
Here's some monetary gain for your AI issues.
Thank you. Funding the AI revolution for $2. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Ben.
Things like X cards, lines and veils, and debriefing after the session. These tools have nothing to do with safety and everything to do with systematizing so that you feel confused and guilty about what is totally normal human interaction. Yeah, whoever said that part is really right. These safety tools are here to make sure you never express creativity outside of the bounds of what these freaks find acceptable. These aren't tools, they're weapons. I'd find more quotes after the 4-minute mark in their video on the topic, but it legitimately made me feel ill. Someone pointed out that we gave the Redditors tummy aches.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the thing. Everyone who's reading this section knows this is true.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, these aren't really that basic. I don't think many home games actually use them. 21 upvotes. Interesting. Oh, tabletop safety tools. I thought for a second that the lunatic had started a campaign against things like seatbelts and railings at this point. Well, I am. I do want to abolish OSHA. And I do think seatbelt laws are really stupid. So you're not that far off. One more reply. Oh. Damn liberals are telling me to stop at stop signs. What's next? Communism? Yes.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Let's see. All right, Buckquack chiming in 7 days ago. Ow, ow, these viewpoints and strong statements are hurting my tummy. -9. One more reply. Oh, the irony. Lame. What a terrible. What is ironic about that? What's the irony? I mean, anyone got receipts on the sexist and racist comments? One reply, like it matters. It's just ad hominem. Yeah, correct.
That's true.
Yeah. And of course, no one provided any receipts. Buttquack never said anything racist nor anything particularly sexist. They just don't like them. AI profiteering is based, and safety tools are for quivering pussies and must be eradicated from the hobby entirely, especially for the sake of the poor deluded folks who use them. Minus 23. To an extent, yes, he's slightly correct. The book is too sparse to be truly helpful. It does rely on players wanting to heavily roleplay. It doesn't rely on them wanting to roleplay. It stops them from roleplaying. The thing he gets wrong is when he says the planned out mystery is the worst GM advice ever. Yes, railroading is bad. However, having planned phases for gameplay isn't railroading, nor is it necessarily a bad idea. Wrong.
It sounds like railroading.
It sounds like railroading. I'm specifically thinking about games like Wickedness or Brindlewood Bay that have clear phases that trigger once players reach certain points.
Yeah, I'm thinking about other
shitty
games that nobody knows about, no one plays, except for these freaks on Reddit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? These freaks on Reddit don't even actually play these games.
Of course not.
But they will buy them. I don't even know if they'll buy them, but they'll say that they bought them.
Basically, Candela's not great, but it isn't because the game has a planned out mystery. Wrong. I think the difference in Candela Obscura is that instead of having loosely defined phases and set beats based on player investigation, they'll check out the old shipyard, then maybe ask about the Old Man Jenkins farm. There's a heavy emphasis on defined phases with a single key clue to link them. Correct. That is exactly what we're talking about. Like, take the sample adventure. A young actress horrifically melts on stage while modeling a dress. Naturally, the players would probably want to ask around about her, see if she had any enemies, see if anyone would have tampered with her food or makeup, see if anyone was skulking about backstage. Nope. Actually, the big clue is a shipping label. After they find the label, they're shuttled off to the company town that produced the dress. Yeah, that's retarded.
Yes, it is.
Just like all these stupid Redditors. He basically just described Critical Role as a whole. They're not interested in playing a game, they're telling a story. Campaign 3 is very much like that, but Campaign 1 and Campaign 2 aren't, which tends to mirror what a large number of fans have said. They love the previous campaigns and don't like Campaign 3. Don't care about that. This one, though, is the funniest comment on here because it came in two phases. I saw the original comment and then I checked it again and it was updated. Because this guy says, prepare to get downvoted. People here don't like this guy, apparently. Minus 26 votes. Okay, why did you have to downvote me? The post is 0 points, so I was right. I didn't even say I liked the video or anything about it.
What did I do?
Yeah, what the fuck did I do? Oh, God. Oh, there's a reply.
Oh.
It's minus 27 now. This is Reddit. It's to be expected. Yeah. Yeah. So that's our Reddit update. You guys are still filth.
Yeah. Thank you, Buttquack, for going in with a machete into the jungles.
Yeah. Defending our honor.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, man.
Slightly correct, exactly. Buttquack, you're the man. Yeah. Buttquack, you're my hero. What a champion. Come to the Fistiverse and hang out whenever you like, King. Yeah. I do not think that word means what you think it means. Wait, this was Buttquack's least downvoted. Buttquack is based. Buttquack is king. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Redditor equals beta. Accident. God, these Redditors sound like nerds. Buttquack is our top guy. He's so funny. Big true.
Oh, yeah.
Just say yes to any accusations of racism. Normal human reaction. Are we talking about robots, AI? What? Yeah. People on Reddit feel threatened by AI because AI, despite being mediocre, is better in every way than they are. Yeah, exactly.
That's why they feel threatened about everything.
Yeah.
Because everything is way better than they are.
Right. Let's see here. What the fuck is Brindlewood? I don't know. I've never heard of that.
It's something terrible.
I hate AI art, but I'm tired of people claiming it's stealing from artists. That's because it's not true. You're correct.
Yeah.
That's not what I care about. I just hate the look of AI. Valid criticism.
Yes.
And I have a preference for art by people who have honed their craft. Correct.
Yeah, rightfully so.
It's railroading. You're just too dumb to know better, you mouth-breathing moron. Yeah, I agree. Wait a minute. I'm a Redditor. Get him. Rip him apart. I remember the freak out when Knowles said that. Awesome. I don't know what
Like
that's
Michael
referencing
Knowles,
to.
Daily Wire, he said something about something.
I don't know. Damn it, I wanted the Reddit drama, but now that I see the shit those dysgenics fucks say, I regret it. This is how I feel about it. Joel Clark, thank you, man. If you ever want to run a game of fists, I'm available. Count me in.
Hell yeah.
Public rip and tear. Yeah. Get ready to laugh. Cookies for butt quack. That was less machete jungle and more kicking goblins.
That's true.
Saluting butt quack, yeah. Thanks for going into the jungles with machetes, me trying to hide the fact that I actually frequently use Reddit. You're the exception to the rule, yeah. Butt quack valiantly colonizing the savage Redditor jungle. Bring me the one named Butt Quack. I am Butt Quack. I am Butt Quack. They're called predators for a reason, yeah. I'm actually in a Blades in the Dark game that's been it's been for weeks. The GM likes story stuff and eventually described it as a good dice mechanic inside a half-baked game. I've never played it. I've heard it's much better. I think Sly Blue Demon, maybe it was him. Apologize. I don't want to accuse anyone of liking Blades in the Dark if they don't like it. But someone said that it's fun. It has a combat system and everything in it, but it is very story gamey. But yeah, I haven't read it, so I can't really criticize it. But Brindlewood Bay is advertised as a cozy murder mystery game.
I hate the word cozy now.
Yeah.
It's become one of these like
I know.
buzzwords.
Yeah.
So cozy.
I'm cozy maxing.
It's so Lindy.
Yeah.
It's so key. Like
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, you cheesy Texas motherfuckers. How's it going, Doc Flamingo?
What's happening, man?
AI is frustrating for me because I think it destroys the pipeline for bad artists to become mediocre and eventually good, because only good artists can get paid jobs and the rest is replaced by AI. I don't think it does, because
I think bad artists are going to stay bad artists.
Right. You can get, the thing is you can get better at art. And as long as you keep practicing, you're going to get better and eventually you'll be able to get paid.
Right.
Unless AI gets significantly better and then everybody's out of a job.
Which I don't see happening.
Cozy murders. What next? Twin Peaks farming. I'm not sure if a game of fists brings the right image. I regret to inform you aren't in a game. You are in a LARP. Blades in the Dark is mediocre. Space King of Kings, good to see you. Space King of Space, rather. Good to see you, man. It does feel like a low-effort LARP at times. Our GM termed a problem called Tier 5 crackhead, where as long as you're part of a faction, you inherit its pattern no matter your individuality. Blades in the Dark is a dice pool D6 game with a target number of 6, so you fail a third of your dice rolls in your professional thief feels like Mr. Bean. Butt Quack bringing some civilization to the dark continent of Reddit. That's correct. That was me. I like Powered by the Apocalypse, so either you like it or you don't. Blades in the Dark is overrated, though. Lots of people go crazy for it. Okay. Yeah, cozy used to be our word. Now they take it. Yeah. Never let them take comfy, though. Butt Quack. There are strong parallels between Camlagon's heroic crusade against the Lahutians and my battles against the Redditors. Both involved a lovable swamp dweller fighting against the other swamp dwellers.
Yeah, everybody else needs to get better at immersion.
Yeah.
Butt Quack is living it.
Yeah. Cozy stream tonight. Is the Blades in the Dark setting as castrated and sanitized as Candela's? I doubt it. It would be hard.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like, because no woke people complain about Blades in the Dark being
I also
too woke.
don't. I think there's only a vaguely implied setting in Blades of the Dark. It's
And-
just a dark city or something.
Woke people do complain about how woke Candela is. There's
which
a
is saying
huge
something.
thread somewhere on Reddit about it that I'm
Yeah.
not going to look up. How can I afford to get better when I have to pay for rent? Starving artist, yeah. I'm also guilty of not practicing enough. Fair criticism. Yeah, exactly. Practice more and you will get better. Wait, how can a murder mystery be cozy? A man is dead. Nobody has a right to be an artist. That is also true.
Yes.
Yeah. You do not deserve to get paid just by virtue of you existing.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the lady in pink seen earlier? Don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't virtue signal, but doesn't really dig deep into any subject either. It's more like LARPing the video game Dishonored.
Oh, Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played Dishonored, but I do like
played it.
I like arcane games.
I liked it. I think I have, but never played the second game.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I get it. I don't really want to go back. Although I did get the PDF of the Dishonored RPG,
Yeah.
which was decent. I just don't. That world was interesting, but not deep enough for me to
Right.
like really want to inhabit it.
The setting in Blades is quite defined.
Oh,
Has
okay.
some cool stuff in it, like Leviathan blood being used as oil and electricity made from ghosts. I do like ghosts powering things. Blades in the Dark is just powered by the apocalypse with the serial numbers filed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just obscure candle. Yeah. John Q. Public says, you can tell these people are new to RPGs. Generally, anyone who's been playing for enough time has enough experience to critique themselves into better taste, unless they just want to sleep with the newbies. Yeah.
I think that's giving them. A lot of these people are new because they've never played a game, but there's also just terrible people
With
who
bad
don't-
taste.
Yeah, with bad taste, who, whether they've been playing for, 4 months or 40 years,
Right.
are not any better off.
If you want to do art, you have to get good, scrub. True. Mercer paints his fingernails, but is cozy wrapped in Nana's quilt. Yeah, oh, that was so painful. That fucking video where he's like wearing a shawl and he's like, well, guys, I'm depressed because of Palestine.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
God,
God.
delete your account. Blades has vampires, gang violence, eldritch cults, and drug addiction. Well, you're making it sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
A murder mystery RPG can be cozy if the corpse has multicolored hair. Oh, man.
Or if just nobody ever gets hurt.
Yeah.
No, it's it's the natural state of like the leftist mind, a constant, perpetual, like bafflement.
Yeah.
It is a mystery.
Yeah.
It's just mundane, asinine things.
Yeah.
Around the world.
You saw 10 untouched copies of Candela on the shelves. Shameful.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I saved some people some money with that video. I should run Old Gods of Appalachia.
I saw that, and I know it's based off of a podcast. So I saw it on the shelf of the comic store, the gaming store, right before I moved here, and I was amazed because I did like the cover. Appalachia and Appalachian lore is cool and interesting, and I was amazed to see. And I think Shauna Germain writes it. Monty Cook's wife or common law wife, I don't know what she is, but
Concubine.
concubine. It is the only example of anything I've seen anywhere, RPGs or otherwise, that discouraged white racism. It discouraged. I'm sure it's still terrible in many
What?
certain regards. So it's about Appalachia.
Oh,
and she
I
was
have
saying-
heard of this. Yeah.
She was saying, I'm assuming it's her who was doing the writing for the intro.
Yeah.
But it's like don't do like the hick
The
inbred
hillbilly
thing. Yeah.
You know, like
Like,
slack-jawed. You know,
Like I'm amazed that
someone
like
wrote that.
someone
in a book.
actually wrote
Yeah.
that. They were able to like get their fingers to the keyboard like, "Ah," and actually
So what you're
say
saying
it.
though
Yeah.
is that I should be racist against Appalachians.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I can deal with that. What is a Lahoutian?
Literally the worst. And that's all you need to know.
Yeah, one of the tribes in our Dragonlance game, I think.
Correct.
Homies in the dark. Dune Pepe, that's a good name. That's a good one. I just slammed my head against the wall with with Shadowrun repeatedly. Yeah, I can fix her. Yeah, cozy in the dark. Johnny Kruger, awful people who think they're sophisticated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the designer for the Critical Role RPGs is just bad. Correct. Spencer Stark is a bad game designer. Everything in the games that is good was directly copied. Everything new was bad. Yeah. And it was copied poorly from what I understand as well.
Yeah.
Caillou the RPG. I don't know what that is. I think he saved 10 people some money. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully. Matt Mercer is evil, wicked scum whose dedication to weakness hurts the young people who look up to him. That effeminate swine doesn't deserve the sweat from my ass crack. Cthulhu bless hillbillies, yeah. Who ate the last cupcake? We'll have to investigate to solve this cozy mystery. Jermaine wrote it. Nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
To contrast, Obscura, Cyberpunk 2020 core book is near constantly sold out in the store and always on restock orders. Glorious. Yeah, that book has been in print for decades.
What is this?
Cyberpunk 2020.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing is, like, every once in a while people hear about it and they're like, oh, that
It's
sounds
still
awesome.
on shelves.
Yeah, they go, I have to, I'll look on eBay to see if I can find a copy. And they're like, I found a copy for $120. Awesome. It's like,
it's literally for
you
sale.
can buy it on Amazon.
Yeah. It's not out of print.
You live in Appalachia. All right. Appalachia equals white Afghanistan. Tribes. Good night. I don't know how to say your name, but have a good night and thank you for joining our
Take
stream.
care, man.
Kailu? Kaihu? I don't know. Cozy Mystery. I don't think that would make an episode of Scooby-Doo. Yeah. I recommend the Basic Experts video on AI. He makes some points on how AI reaches its limits in so many areas. The more detailed it gets, use AI as encouragement. You can be better than that. Yeah, he also brought up some really good points, and I've actually noticed this doing Google searches, is that Google image searches have been flooded with fucking AI. So anytime that he's looking for like reference images that he can use for his own art, it's all this AI shit that doesn't. And like, I don't remember, what did I look up the other day? I looked up something the other day, and it was just tons and tons of AI art, which is bad. But this is also a problem for the AI art people, because they're training their data sets on these things, and if they're training it on the AI art, it's going to fuck up the AI. You mean ass quack? Yeah. Sean Reynolds wrote it with Shanna. Cyberpunk cozy. Caillou is pebble in French.
I think it's a cartoon, like a European.
It's like
maybe
a
it's a
little kid.
French. Yeah.
Who actually runs tables with cozy groups? Pillows and shawls. Do they exist? Are they having fun? I see them on YouTube, and every time it's Cloak and Dagger behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pirella saying, I like to get cozy with my hidden candles scented like the hair of young girls. Vote for me, Joe Obama. I mean, Joe, you know the thing. Come on.
Come on, man.
I wonder why that didn't trigger I wonder if we ran out of credits on the Biden voice. I hope not. I'll have to check that. I'm sorry that Joe Biden didn't read that.
That would be
that lazy son of a bitch. I suspect that Shanna is Monty's dominatrix.
100%.
Caillou is a cartoon about a child who looks like he has terminal cancer and his beta male dad. It's pretty ubiquitous. I just assumed you guys are doing an enlightened heel bit.
The only reason I know Kyle, whatever that character's name is, have you ever seen the channel Umami?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
He had some like one of his surrealist like shorts that was about, I don't know, Kylo getting murdered or something. Fell off a cliff. I don't remember what it was about.
Did you see the I am a surgeon
yeah,
one?
so funny, the crab and the clam. He just had another one today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta check that
it's
out.
a short one.
Yeah.
Calendar Man.
At the risk of taking jokes seriously, Twin Peaks is unironically cozy. That is correct. It is
Yeah.
cozy.
Season 1 is cozy.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
so much the return.
Yeah. As is its weeb version, Persona 4. AI artists like the monkey's paw, exactly. There is a video where Jermaine is talking about having a refrigerator closed on while you're in it and how it's the language of a mermaid. I don't know what this
the
means.
fuck?
I don't know what that means. Joe fell asleep.
He
Yeah,
really
he
did.
did.
Yeah.
Sunsetting. The AI is feeding off its own stupidity. What could go wrong? Yeah. Fuck, dude. I hate that cancer kid. Past Joe's bedtime. Yeah. I tried AI for writing an adventure or two, and yeah, it doesn't seem to write detail, but it does do general outlines. Good for idea mining. Yeah, and you can use it to summarize things for you that you've already written or like emailed and stuff like that. It's like AI is very useful, but it is not a panacea, at least not yet. Anyhow, I think, guys, that we are pretty much at time. It's been about exactly 2 hours, so I think we're going to call it a night. But thank you for joining us. This was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
Go check out Lone Wolf Fists. This is a very fun game, very different. So if you want to shake up what you're doing at your table, get away from a D20 system, this is very different, and it's simple. The writing is a lot of fun. It's fun to read and fun to play, which is the most important thing about the game, is that it's fun. So anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and stop the stream. So have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy, guys.